Welcome to PhD&D on YouTube, and another edition of Moving Forth, where we work on building a better 4th edition D&D for everyone. This is a requested video. I'm going to read the exact request. A 4E video request: how do you handle money in your game? Specifically in 4E, this gets problematic as levels increase. And at Epic tier, a single magic item can be worth more or more valuable than an entire barony. As a DM, I never struggle at heroic levels, but it becomes an issue if the party is so rich that having money as treasure gets almost meaningless. Do you have money sinks? How wealthy should they be by level 15 or 20? Should they be richer than a king? Okay. That does become a problem at higher levels, not just in 4th edition, but here is how I handle it. Epic tier, it's not a problem. Things seem pretty balanced. You can use the gold piece. It depends on your setting. Within your setting, how much gold does a peasant have? How much does a king have? Think about these things. Think about how much is it really worth so that you can give them that much. Now, in terms of game balance, on page 129 of the Dungeon Master's Guide, or 128 around there are breakdowns as far as monetary rewards per level for a party. It will list about 10 different items that a level, say, 26 party should get throughout that level. It tells you if you want to keep it balanced, there should be, one magic item for each of these 4 levels. There should be this much gold, this much artwork that they find, this much jewelry. That can give you ideas to keep that balanced and how much to actually give them. But how to keep this from breaking down, how to keep them from not wanting any more gold. Well, I'll tell you how I do it. Now, my party is rather poor. They were rather poor because they do not make a habit of looting bodies. Yeah, one of the things you should always do in D&D, they never did. For like 15 levels, they never did it, hardly ever. They started to realize that and how dirt poor they were, and so they've started doing it some more. But at epic level, you've got to give them things that are cooler than that. They don't want the gold. I deal in astral diamonds now, not gold pieces, just because it's easier. One astral diamond, I think, is worth 10,000 gold pieces, so the currency they deal in is within astral diamonds. But at epic tier, it becomes an issue of other things. They should have access to really cool things. An example in my campaign, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but my party has a flying castle. It's basically their home base. It's a vehicle at the same time, and they have almost a staff that runs it. They have a contact named Iltana, and she's a shard mind, and she basically steers this thing and runs the treasury, and she's in charge of the Sky Citadel, as it's called. Their floating castle that flies through the skies, but they loved getting that thing, and they love getting magic items and things like that. So we just assume, more than anything, that they have enough gold on the Sky Citadel to buy all their mundane items. We don't even keep track of that. If they want to restock an adventuring kit, if they want to buy, horses, as long as they're not trying to buy like an army of them, they have the money for that. And if I feel like they're overreaching, I will act as that NPC and say, Iltana will come up to them and say, guys, the treasury is running low. We need more income if we're going to sustain this type of lifestyle. So one of the things the party recently did when that happened was they made it a quick mission to go find a very skilled merchant, and they offered him basically housing on the Sky Citadel as long as he could handle bringing in more money for them. They got a cut of whatever he sold, but he also had access to use the Sky Citadel to trade goods around the entire world. So they made a really cool deal there. But that's how I handle basic money. For basic needs. If they're overreaching it, tell them through an NPC. Just say, hey guys, we need we're running a little low on money. We're spending more than we're making at this point. And they can fix that. Now, actually buying magic items and things like that. First of all, if you have a level 26 magic item, it's worth over 1 million gold pieces right there. And it should be, because if you do magic items correctly, they should have an awesome story, an interesting background. They're more than just, numbers in a stat block. So, okay, sorry, I lost my place there. if they've got this magic item, they can sell those. If they need to make more money, they can obviously sell those, but don't be afraid to give them a magic item just because it's worth so much. At the levels, at level 26, yeah, your magic item's worth more than a lot of things. Maybe it's worth more than an entire village. But you're also an epic tier hero. You're almost a demigod at this point. You should have things worth more than a little village. It balances out in story, or it should balance out story-wise with that. Your heroes should not be bowing down to kings and, getting in trouble for every little thing they do at level 26. They should be running the show at this point. Yeah, they should probably be respectful to kings, and they probably are, but you got to realize how high they are. I picture rulers, kings, the really, really powerful people in the world as upper Paragon tier. I figure, normal mortals, people, the kings, the highest of the King's Guard, things like that, around upper Paragon tier. Yes, there are the rare heroes that stretch above that, but most things in the epic tier are things like demons, angels, and immortal beings. So, just want to throw that out there. But yeah, deal in magic items, deal in astral diamonds. I talked about how for the mundane things, they just have that source of money. They have the Sky Citadel, which provides them a source of money. They have workers on it. They have the merchant now pulling in quite a bit of money for them. So as long as you don't feel they're overreaching with that, there's no reason to get involved. Now, when it comes to buying the magic items and traveling places to get things, you have to make it rare. You have to make it difficult for them to do that, because you don't want them just flying around the world buying up magic items. And if you do, go for it. That's your game. But magic items should be harder to find. They should have to really haggle with someone in a very exotic place to get stuff at that high level, unless they're actually adventuring for it, unless they're actually defeating monsters and taking these things. They should have to, put up a fight almost, or put up a diplomatic fight to get a hold of these things. That kind of keeps them in check, in balance. Have them keep track of the astral diamonds they find, because astral diamonds, I guess, if you tell them, you found 200,000 gold pieces, well, how the hell are they going to carry that? Are they really going to take the time to scoop it up in their bag of holding? No. If you tell them they found 20 astral diamonds, and you can have that be whatever you want, an astral diamond could be smaller than a gold piece, just worth 10,000 times as much. So they scoop up these 20 diamonds, have them keep track of those big numbers, the ADs, the astral diamonds, and they can buy bigger things with those. If they really want to buy magic items, say, okay, what do you guys have on you in astral diamonds that you can deal with? Because all those mundane items, all the gold at the lower levels, by epic level, you just shouldn't have to deal with it. Don't charge them to restock their pack. Don't charge them at an inn unless it's a special circumstance. And when I say that, sorry, I mean charge them, but don't keep track of it. They don't want to keep track of how many coppers they had to pay to get some food and drink when they have, like you said, millions of gold pieces. So I hope that helped. That was off the top of the head, but I've been thinking about it since you asked. But that is how I deal with money in my 4th edition game. That is how I keep things interesting, keep them running smooth, and keep them very story-based. So that is your moving forth for this week. Look forward to more of them coming out, and if you have any requests, as always, send them in. Thanks for watching.